Daryl sat in the dim glow of his multiple monitors, fingers dancing over the keyboard like a maestro conducting a symphony. His eyes scanned lines of code, the iridescent greens and blues reflecting off his glasses. Once a passionate software developer in a long-term relationship, Daryl had his world shattered when he discovered his fiancée was cheating on him. Instead of succumbing to the abyss of heartbreak, he pivoted his skill set. Now, he specialized in unearthing infidelity and relationship lies, transforming himself into the love hacker. His website was simple but effective, a monochrome aesthetic with a tagline, "Discover the truth, heal your heart." Most of his clients were spouses or partners suspecting infidelity. Daryl took no pleasure in breaking hearts, but he believed it was better to know the truth than live a lie. As he sifted through incoming emails, mostly spam and a few inquiries, he noticed an interesting one. "Urgent, I need to know the truth. Can you help?" Curiosity piqued, he opened the email. The email was from someone named George Smith. George suspected his wife of 6 years, Samantha, was having an affair. The details were sparse, but the desperation in his words was evident. Daryl replied, outlining his services and fee structure. Within minutes, George agreed. Daryl was intrigued. Typically, clients took some time to deliberate. As he started his work, delving into social media accounts, messages, and other digital trails, he felt that familiar mix of adrenaline and dread. Daryl was an expert in pattern recognition, both in algorithms and human behavior. Usually, he could tell within the first few hours whether a subject was deceitful or not, but Samantha was different. She was a cybersecurity analyst, a damn good one if her digital footprints were anything to go by. It was like trying to follow someone through a forest, only to find they've covered their tracks impeccably. As he dug deeper, Daryl found himself captivated not by her deceit but her brilliance. She had contributed to online forums about ethical hacking, written articles on data protection, and had even delivered a TED Talk on the ethics of trust in a digital world. Days turned into nights, and Daryl was no closer to finding anything incriminating, but then he stumbled upon a hidden folder named Private in a cloud storage account. A breach of his personal code, but in his obsession, he rationalized it as necessary. He found a series of encrypted text files. After hours of trying, he finally managed to decrypt them. They were journal entries, and what they contained shocked him. Samantha was onto him, or rather, onto a hacker who she suspected had invaded her privacy. Her latest entry outlined her plan to track down this person and report them to the authorities, but there was another twist. She mentioned suspicions about her own husband, George. She suspected that George had hired someone to invade her privacy. It was a moral and emotional quagmire. Daryl was stuck. Ethically, he was in a gray area. Emotionally, he was drawn to Samantha in a way he couldn't fully articulate. His initial instinct was to drop the case, but that would raise suspicions. His mind raced for solutions when an incoming video call disrupted his thoughts. It was George, frantic. He'd somehow discovered that Samantha was onto them and was threatening to go to the police. Daryl's heart sank. Things were falling apart rapidly. Suddenly, a brilliant yet dangerous idea flashed through his mind. What if he could use his hacking skills to plant evidence that would exonerate Samantha while unmasking George's unethical behavior? It was risky and unethical, but the allure was too compelling. Over the next few hours, Daryl executed his plan with precision. He anonymously tipped Samantha about a security loophole he'd discovered, allowing her to find planted evidence that showcased George's attempts to hack into her accounts. As he'd predicted, Samantha was savvy enough to trace these back to her husband. George was exposed, not just as a distrustful husband but as someone who would invade his wife's privacy. Samantha initiated a legal separation, and George was too embroiled in legal troubles to notice Daryl's disappearance from his life. Months passed. Daryl continued his work, but the thrill was gone. The emotional and ethical complexities of Samantha's case had changed something in him. One day, a notification popped up on his computer. A new email, subject, "Thank you, love hacker." It was Samantha. She never explicitly said she knew what Daryl had done, but her words were a tapestry of gratitude and understanding. Something inside Daryl fluttered as he read the closing lines. Sometimes the algorithms of life are too complex to understand, but they always lead us where we need to be. As he closed the email, Daryl realized that sometimes the most chaotic code could yield the most unexpected and beautiful results. He smiled, took off his glasses, and stepped away from his computer, contemplating the inexplicable algorithms of love and fate. And so, Daryl remained the love hacker, but his code, both moral and digital, had been forever altered. He couldn't shake the feeling that life had more to debug, and maybe, just maybe, love wasn't a lost cause after all.